So we put an advert in a local Facebook group saying, we're looking for empty buildings, and within a few hours we got a message back from a lady who had a building, had planning permission to convert it to residential, but was retiring from being in property. She'd taken ill, and so we went to view it, and then a few months later we owned the property, and it was offices but very run down, had been empty for a long time. Planning permission to convert into 4 apartments. We were lucky the building was already laid out nicely. It had the staircases in situ. Most of the rooms were already divided up, in the right proportions. So it was just a case of going in, ripping out the crap and then putting in kitchens, bathrooms, and all that kind of stuff. And initially our plan was to sell the properties. But anyone who's done a big project like this, they never runs to time. So we were 12 months over.
Oh no.
Dog coming in to say hello. We ran 12 months over. We also, big mistake, utilities. So electricity wise, we were fine. Water, there was a supply coming in. It wasn't until the plumber had fitted everything, he said, I'm not sure there's enough water coming in to supply the whole of this building. So we then spent about 8 months figuring out how we were going to get water, another supply into the building, because it's on a main street. We didn't own the basement of the building. We just owned the first and second floor of the building.
Oh no.
So it was an absolute nightmare trying to figure it all out. But we got there in the end, and we probably spent another 30 grand just getting that sorted. So by the time we then came to sell, what happened was the Help to Buy scheme was in place, and suddenly the people that would have been interested in these as first-time buyers was much more attractive to go and buy a brand new house down, on the local housing estate. Suddenly the market was flooded with flats, so we were like, crap. So they were on the market for a few months, and then we thought, right, what are we going to do with this? This is, these are costing us money now. And so we put 2 of them up for rent, and we decided to give serviced accommodation a go. Did the training with Hayley Andrews and Paul Andrews, Your Freedom Empire, learned all about how to run serviced accommodation and got them set up. And they went really, really well. So when the tenants that we had in decided to move on, we made all 4. So we've got now this nice little block of 4 apartments that run a serviced accommodation. We've outsourced everything, so management's outsourced.
Who do you use, if we might ask? Is it a local company or is it a national?
No, it's a local company. So a chap who was on the same training as us. So he came kind of through that network. He was already running a few of his own. He works with contractors, so they were his main contacts. And that was great. So it meant through the pandemic, he managed to keep them filled. And they've been working really well.
Amazing. And are they 1 beds, 2 beds? What sizes are?
Yeah, 4 flats. So they're nice. Yeah.
Amazing. God, that sounds like a great project, but huge amounts of learning for you.
I think at the time, it was quite stressful. We can look back and laugh now. But would I do it again? Yeah. But with the learnings, that we've got put in place, always get your utilities checked out first.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a scary thing. And have you had your done your capital allowances on that project?
That's underway.
Amazing, because that should be very lucrative, shouldn't it, for that?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so so moving on to your current project with the Apart Hotel, how's that come about, and what made you sort of go down that route?
Yeah, so we've been looking at kind of doing more serviced apartments, but maybe I think what we've learned is we've got some individual properties, and it's actually much easier to look after 4 of the properties that are together. So we could see more and more people moving towards doing that, buying blocks. Up in Scotland, we've got licensing now, so it's becoming more and more difficult to get the one-off apartments. So that's what led us to start looking at serviced accommodation in that way.